We're rolling.
Oh, good, good. Whoa, what is that?
Because we wanted to shoot the film like a documentary, we wanted that handheld camera like you often see with documentaries. If you look at most documentaries, you got somebody with a camera on their shoulder just trying to capture spontaneous moments. And it's often rough and jittery, and we wanted that organic kind of feel to the camera. It's really hard to do that in a computer. You usually get real smooth, calculated moves.
There was really a lot of time and energy spent around how you bring that to life, how you make a movie feel like it's a documentary, and how you take out the staging and the perfection, if you will, of a normal film.
We've came up with a technique that basically do motion capture on the camera and shoot live, real-time camera moves.
Hey, check it out. How about this?
This camera system is unique out of all the motion capture systems that I know, is because we actually have a little camera attached to the top of the camera itself. And what that does is it senses its surrounding environment. And above the camera, we actually have a grid which contains small LEDs that the camera itself senses. And so whenever you move the camera, the little camera that's actually on top knows at any one point exactly where it is, and it feeds that information into the computer.
The layout department actually builds the world, builds the set. Once it's built, we can take the camera and we can move anywhere we want within that set.
We'd go into a room, we had a camcorder, like any camcorder, and you look through the viewfinder and you'd see your penguins walking around on a beach. And with this camcorder, you could walk up to the penguins or follow them or zoom in on them or whatever. And every movement you're making with the camera, whether you're walking or bouncing up and down as you walk, those motions were being captured in real time. And it was like magic. You look through this viewfinder into a virtual world. You're on a beach with penguins.
Who are all those guys? Hey, get out of here! Whoa.
This camera enables us to truly move around as if we were camera operators truly on the island of Pingú shooting penguins.
The camera is constantly alive. It feels like a character that's there holding the camera.
The directors were very adamant very early on that they wanted the camera to have the freedom to just point this way or point that way and just do whatever it needed to do. You never quite knew what the camera was going to shoot. Normally you just design exactly what you know is going to be in the shots. It's very rare you have a set that goes all the way around. Here you had to create complete environments.
One of the benefits of shooting this way is that we could do a bunch of different takes on the fly. We could do several takes in a minute. We could have the same animation and go in and shoot several different angles and then pick the best one in editorial. That would have taken hours or days if you did it by hand or with a keyframe.
I wasted my whole day, and I have nothing to show for it, which is...
Every scene in which the camera wasn't locked on a tripod was shot real time with this handheld camera process.
The camera itself is actually a personality within our movie. There are many instances where you really aren't perfectly composed on the characters, but you really feel like you're reacting to the character's motion. Rather than being in a very heavily choreographed sequence.
What are you doing?
This was going to be a number of shots, cutting backwards and forwards between our two main characters, and we realized that we could shoot the whole thing as one continuous camera move using the handheld camera system and just track the characters through the jungle, really get a feeling of the jungle in front of you, and at the same time just being in the moment and not having to cut from one shot to the next. This next shot was particularly fun to do. It was originally going to be 3 shots, but we ended up scouting the environment and realizing that the whole sequence could actually be shot in one camera. So we actually used the fact that we could see through that window and we could follow Cody through. Whenever we were shooting somebody surreptitiously and we wanted to make sure that the camera wasn't in evidence to the people that were being shot, we always try and use foliage to actually hide behind.
There's a scene where Z has fallen off of a cliff and the camera just holds for a moment and kind of pans nervously like, what do we do now? I don't want to really look over the edge and see what happened to him. And the camera work had a sense of humor to itself.
Oh, well, that's great. As long as we're all having fun, right?
There's another great shot where we find Z hiding behind some tree leaves in his house, and he's caught. The camera catches him, and then it moves in to get a close-up of him, and he doesn't want to be seen. And there's just some incredible things going on there. Once again, it feels like it really happened.
Not again.
It's a very organic way of shooting movies.
It provides us not only with a great look, but it also engages the viewers in the process. Sometimes the camera is almost voyeuristic, looking around the corner or trying to sneak between characters and see what we're seeing, and that gives us another perspective and it engages the viewer in the movie.
Just this week with the contest coming up and all, it's a little crazy. You really have to be extra attentive. When you have so many guys in the water, you can't miss a thing. But you know what? I have a perfect record. I've never lost anybody. Sure, there have been close calls, but... Oh, Arnold, I turned my back for once.
For the first time, we've really been able to use a real camera in a CG environment.
The thing I like about it is it often reminds you that there's a person behind the camera shooting all this, and that's what makes it feel all the more real.
You guys see that? Oh man. The look and feel just kind of has that handheld camera feel to it, but not too much so that it's distracting.
And you don't see that in animations. Usually animation is just, they'll set up like a little cowboy shot and they'll do the animation. This is like a whole different way of doing it. Steady cammed, the whole thing's steady cam.
It skirts on the edge of reality, but it's so much more beautiful and alive than actually being alive that you might just give up and watch television all the time.
A lot of people, when they see the movie, they don't really realize or they don't understand what's different about it, but they feel something different. With the camera work, it just feels like it's happening in the moment, that the movie is happening right in front of them at that time. And again, it's because of that camera work that makes you feel, this is just happening. Or I just missed this little moment that happened, but then the camera caught up to it, and so it's not as clean or as sterile as a lot of computer animated movies can be. You know, we're a little kind of dirty around the edges, so it gives it kind of a cool feeling.
Is that cool? You guys got what you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
All right, be good. I've been surfing ever since I can remember. It's just hard to imagine any part of my life when I wasn't surfing.
Take me under the water, the
Our goal on this movie was to really put people on that surfboard and put them in the water, in those waves.
And that had never been done before.
In order to attain that level of realism, the Surf's Up crew needed to become wave experts, which meant a research expedition to Malibu Beach.
It would be pretty sad to make a surf movie that was only made in Culver City, you know? We had to go to the beach at least one day.
We took our whole crew that was on the show at the time, and all 100 or 150 of us went to the beach and spent a day hanging out with each other and trying to learn how to surf.
Just the act of getting out into the wave, into the liner, for most of us who spend most of their days, you know, sitting at a desk and looking at pictures, is so incredibly hard that that by the time you get out beyond the wave, you're just glad that you didn't die on the way out.
Well, you certainly empathize with the characters, you know, Cody wiping out or any character that wipes out.
I got pummeled, you know, had a couple pitchers of salt water, and I'm still digesting.
I kind of got, you know, my backside handed to me a little bit.
I stood up for a whole half second. It was awesome.
I learned that from surfing that I can't surf, and that I shouldn't be near the water at all because I could drown. I learned.
Rob Machado was there that day, and he went out in the water and made everybody look like what they were, which is amateurs.
You really got to stay focused on what you're out there to do and not be influenced by the other guys.
It was incredibly helpful to experience it firsthand, you know, to feel what it is like to, you know, get on a surfboard, you know, catch a wave.
I learned that, you know, you can kind of see how the water breaks a little bit. You can see how the waves are breaking.
It's changed the way I look at waves.
It was helpful for everyone.
In most computer animation, repeated motion, like waves, is created in a simulation where technicians program all the parameters, such as ocean depth, wave height, and wave speed, into the computer. And then the computer simulates the appropriate motion.
In the case of the waves, we couldn't really do that. We had to have absolute control over every aspect.
We knew we wanted to be on the wave with Cody. We wanted to experience the visceral experience of riding a wave, surfing a wave. So there was a level of realism to that that was just required, because if it was too cartoony or too stylized, it wouldn't have felt like you were riding a wave.
We wanted to have a tone to them, you know, whether it's playful or dangerous.
That wave could envelop you and basically gobble you up. We have a scene in the movie where Cody is a touch more optimistic about the wave than he should be, flies over the top and is sucked down into the reef. And you don't just do that by simulating it. You have to believe it. And that comes with an extra level of poetry of motion.
By designing a system where we could animate them and have animators give them a bit of a characterization, you know, then we had that control.
Technical director Eric Miller had to build a rig, which is the tool the animators would use to build their waves in the computer. A rig is like an electronic puppet. The animators, it's puppet masters.
I love it. So for the wave, there were these little controls. They were kind of like rings. And these ring controls could rotate, and as they rotated, the wave starts to take its form. And so that was kind of the interface to how the animators would basically control the shape and the speed and the variations of the different waves.
The wave has been built from the ground up, or from the ocean floor up, you know, so to speak. The riggers have been amazing to create this basically character that we can animate, that layout can animate, that effects can work with. So it's a character that flows over 3 departments.
Once the rig was built, the wave moved into layout.
In layout is where the basic motion of the wave is defined. We were very fortuitous to have an expert surfer in the layout department.
Wave wizard, wave guru, wave freak, wave idiot. This is a nice sequence called Cody and Z Surfs. And so I have drawings to kind of represent what the directors are thinking. And so I take those drawings now and I start to build a shot with it. I'm rarely satisfied. I want it to be perfect.
What better way to make the perfect wave than to have a champion surfer ride it for you?
Kelly Slater came into our screening room, and we had a bunch of work in progress waves that we were testing with.
How you guys doing? All right.
And he drew over our waves and was talking about where the shape needed to be a little bit different, and where the surface film actually needed to suck a little faster, a little bit slower.
You know, it's like drawing the shapes of the slope of where the wave itself starts to square off and where it goes vertical.
I couldn't go and get on the computer and actually animate a wave properly, but I can tell you where it needs to change, you know, and the animator might not know exactly where it needs to change, and so it's a whole bunch of people putting in their 2 cents at the right times and right places to make something work.
The waves now moved into animation, where both the surfer and surfboard had to paddle out, get up, and ride.
Animating surfers on a wave is just tricky by its nature.
My first step is to start working with the surfboard, and I do a general path going down the wave, make sure we got the right motion and the right emotion for the shot. Then we get Cody in there and we start blocking out his moves, make sure his motion matches the moves that we want him to do on the surfboard.
I think the biggest challenge is to get it right, to just get the physics to work, to get the feeling of being on an unstable surface, to get that to feel true, but still have some caricature to it so that it feels like a penguin, so that it feels fun and exciting.
Now that the wave, the surfboard, and the surfers are animated, the effects department takes over.
We apply white water, lip spray, foam, foam balls. For the surfing effects, we do board spray, we do board wake, we do board spray foam, we do board wake foam, we do splashes. So white water is the explosion of aerated water when the lip of the wave crashes and hits the trough of the wave. And what we refer to as lip spray is the water that rips off of the lip as the lip is coming over and crashing.
Nice, that's it.
This explosion backward in the tube that then goes and wraps around, we actually refer to as the foam ball. And that foam gets carried up to the top of the tube, and then there's this sort of rain or cascade of particles that fall down. And so that whole kind of washing machine effect that happens inside a tube.
With all those effects added to the waves, it's time for the finishing touch, lighting, which both lights and puts final color on the shot. The final look and color of the waves were actually determined nearly 3 years ago in the early stages of pre-production by the Visual Development Department at Sony Pictures Animation. Production designer Paul Lesane created a color palette for the entire film and applied that color scheme to waves that were designed by a team of artists led by Visual Development 3D supervisor Todd Pilger.
What exactly do we want the color of these waves to be? The Antarctic waves, we wanted to, first of all, look cold, a little bit more menacing.
The water's darker. You can't see through it like you can in the island. It doesn't have that beautiful turquoise look.
Of course, when you get to Pingú, you've got this glorious water that could be in Hawaii or Tahiti. You've got all this time where you can see into it. You imagine if you were to go scuba diving, you could see for 50 or 80 feet, which is completely opposite from where we were down in Shiverpool. And the lighters actually are the ones who settle on the color of the wave, make sure the sun's in the right position, make sure the character can still be read on this wave, and also make it look like it was photographed, because our movie being a documentary, every shot has to look like it was actually, photographed by a camera. Of course, it's not photorealistic, but it is a stylized photograph look of the movie.
Even surfers that have seen the footage are astounded by what they see, and it puts them back in the water.
The animation that we've seen so far has been incredible. There was times where I looked at a wave and went, wow, that's real.
They wanted to give it the same kind of thrill that you get when you're surfing. And being a surfer myself, I was thrilled.
It's very tangible. You feel like you can go, I mean, it looks like waves.
Everybody has said, we want to go there. Wherever this is, this would be a nice place to vacation.
I'm really, really proud of everybody on the film and proud of what we've been able to put on the screen for our waves.
I am totally stoked.
Every time we see one of the waves finished, our minds are blown.
That impact, that beauty, not only, frankly, of the wave itself, as you're asking me about the technical elements of the wave, but the whole composition, the world, the sense of being able to reach into that screen almost with your hands and touch that water. You could almost feel it to that extent.
Hi, I'm Rob Brado. I'm the visual effects supervisor on Surf's Up, and I'm going to walk you through these progression reels that show you a little bit about how we made these shots and put them together for the movie. We're actually going to start here with the very last shot of the movie, and here we're just basically layering together all the different pieces that go into making the surface of the wave, and right now we're adding the particles that make up the foam ball and the lip spray and the whitewater. The various passes here are used to kind of control the lighting and the shadows and all the different pieces that go into making, in this case, you can see the spray coming off the surfboard of Cody or the spray coming off of his hand. As the camera follows Cody around and drops back into the tube of the wave, you get to see now this specular highlight showing up around the ring of the wave, which was a concept that was brought about by Paul Lassane, the production designer on the film, after looking at some reference photos where this really happens. In every one of our shots, we had some amount of lens effects, some scratches and other things. So this is a good opportunity to show you what goes into making one of these archive footage shots. So we start with the characters, and then we start to degrade the footage. We had grain, we had vignetting around the edge of the frame. We tint it to look like it was sepia toned, and then add the projector gate that we actually scanned off of real footage, and a bunch of dirt and scratches and all the different layers that just go into making it look like it was something that we transferred from film. The last moment of this shot, we decided to make it black and white and then add that projector weave like it was a really bad transfer to kind of drive that point home. We're just going to kind of break down some of the particle elements that really go into a big wave shot like this. So there were a lot of particles. A shot like this might have 500 million to 1 billion particles that go into making up the shot. So what we have here is the water surface that we render, and then those are the different lighting passes. They all get added together and controlled in the composite to make up the lip spray elements. Then we have the different whitewater effects that are everywhere in the shot, around the characters, around the place where the lip intersects with the bottom swell of the wave, and of course the splash where Cody dropped into the wave on this shot. And every one of our shots gets some sort of lens effect. In this case, it drops on the lens. In the down and out sequence, here you're seeing us as we turn on different lights in the scene, and then of course that last light is the key light, which is the sun sitting out over the horizon, giving us that nice warm orange light. So we break this shot down in a couple different ways, turning all the different pieces off and on here. Gives you an opportunity to see some of the pieces that go into building one of these final shots. So this is taking a character out at a time. When you take the characters out, you actually get to see their footprints real clearly. If you look at those footprints on the left of the frame, you actually see the ones that are blurred, the ones that are softened by the water as it runs over it. We also have a lot of splashes in the film, and this was one of the shots where we tried to refine those splashes to get them as good as we could. There's lots of different layers that go into this, but the refractive layer, the highlights, and the different lighting components that kind of all get added together in the final composite to make the splashes look, as realistic as possible. And here's a lighting breakdown of that same shot. What you're seeing in the upper right-hand corner there is Cody from all the different angles of the different lights that make up the lighting in this sequence. So that's Cody's shadows from all those various lights. One of the things that comes up time and time again when you're doing a movie that takes place on the water is your camera actually ends up dropping below the surface of the water. And in this case, what we wanted to do was simulate the fact that these cameras actually had underwater camera housings that enables the camera to see both below the surface of the water and above the water, at the same time. It's something you see all the time in documentaries, and we wanted to be able to do it in an efficient way. The lighting team came up with a way of doing this mostly in 2D. You can see all these elements being layered together to give us that underwater camera look in a very efficient and convincing way. So those are the scratches and the vignetting on the lens and all those things that make it feel like you're actually shooting this with a real camera. This shot build is a good example of the way that we designed the lighting controls to create these waves so the audience could feel like they actually rode these waves by the time they leave the theater. So from the very beginning, we defined these wave zones, and what you're seeing here is the different zones of the wave going by. They're being colored different colors. And for each of those zones, we had a whole set of technical and artistic controls that we could use to control what that particular zone looked like. So here you're seeing the diffuse lighting and the incandescence and the various photographic controls that we used, and we could dial in those photographic controls individually for each zone of the wave. And as this shot build continues, you're just going to see more and more of the photographic and artistic controls that we layered together to make this shot complete as it shows up in the final film. Then once all the wave is done, of course, it's time to add the whitewater, the lens housing, the lens flares, and all the other pieces that actually make this kind of shot complete for the movie. Here you're looking at the rough layout stage, which is when the layout team blocks in the position of the character and the camera. And then animation takes it over and brings the characters to life. And then the final layout team actually goes in and puts the final camera and set dressing together. Of course, after that, you've got to finish the characters up with their hair and feathers, and then you actually watch all the different layers that the lighter and the compositor uses to finish up the shot and finish up the film in this case.
Hi, I'm Mario Cantone, voice of Mikey Abramowitz in Surf's Up. Meet the Penguins, Pete and Penny. Sony Pictures invited me and my feathered tuxedo friends to their studio for a bird's eye view of Surf's Up. They even rolled out the blue carpet for us. Talk about star treatment. And we deserve it. This is the film's producer who gave me the job, Chris Jenkins.
Well, we got a busy afternoon for you. Lots of fish. Anything you want, you just tell us, and the ocean is at your disposal. Okay? So it's great that you could join us here, and yeah, welcome to Surf's Up. This is gonna be fun.
Pete and Penny get lots of fish, but what about me, Chris? The Penguins get to meet your lovely kids, but when is my moment? When? Oh, wait, there I am. They feel like really soft.
They are very, very soft.
I thought they'd be scaly.
That's what a lot of people think, but their feathers are very well conditioned to keep them nice and warm and dry, so they have to keep them very soft, so they're constantly cleaning them and preening them, and that's why they're very, very soft.
They condition their feathers?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God bless you.
Penguin sneezes are good luck.
They are?
Yep.
After my penguin sneeze blessing, it was on to meet up with the voice of Cody Maverick, Shia LaBeouf.
It's a cute bird. It is a cute bird.
It's a cute bird. It's a nice bird. Here's the hallowed Hollywood tradition of schmoozing. Oh, yes. Stretch it out. Stretch it out, Penny. Here they are at their Hollywood power lunch. After schmoozing and eating, we all went to a storyboard pitch where the writers showed us a proposed scene from the movie.
So Chicken Joe comes in, he's got this full hula outfit on. He's all dressed up in this hula outfit. He's like, come on, man, just one bite. And then Lonnie comes running in. Huh? Looks at him. She turns, goes running off.
Our illustrious directors, Chris Buck and Ash Brandon, showed Penny and Pete some unique camera work on the film.
James is our head of layout, and he's going to show you how the camera operates.
This is the Surf Cam, and this is the camera that we use. The cool thing about this camera is that we can shoot in real time.
Did it remind you of home?
Pete saw his Aunt Lisa in one of these shots.
Okay, was that good? Great, thanks.
Penny and Pete did some voiceover work with us.
Hi, I'm sorry. Are you SAG? Because we need this. We need your signature here. SAG. Are they SAG?
It's PAG, not SAG. PAG, Penguin Actors Guild.
Okay, what should we just go from the top? Penny, Pete.
Yep, we'll take 11, line 11 through, I think, 21.
What you need to do is kind of look at each other, and that's where all you need to be. Each other's worlds, that's all.
Right.
Okay. Penny, that was a real nice take. Thank you, guys.
Very nice, Pete. Very nice.
Bravo, Penguins! And for a bit of method acting, Shia and I joined in. Has anyone seen Cody Maverick?
I'm Cody Maverick.
Oh, wonderful. Mike Abramowitz from Big Z Memorial Surf on Pingú Island.
You came here on a way to see me. Wow. Wow.
All right.
Penny, hold on a second. It's my turn. Here, look. I'll be right back. You got to see what I can do. Honestly, it's amazing.
Oh.
Watch. See? See?
Now that was not in the script.
Terrific.
Bitten and sneezed on by penguins. I can't imagine a better day. Pete and Penny, Surf's Up! See ya!
Hey.
Hi. Oh.
Hey. Hey. Hey,
Hey. Oh, you're gonna...
Hey. Hey guys, welcome to the
Deleted scenes. Which
Deleted scenes?
This scene's going to be deleted.
It's going to
too.
be deleted now.
Just like the ones we're about to show you.
Well, I think, I mean, it's fun for us to watch these scenes again, to sort of see the evolution of the movie, to see where we were and the different ideas that we were playing with. That's why I find it fascinating.
I find it as fascinating as if you're watching a real documentary. and that there were things that were really on the cutting room floor. Things that you felt as part of the journey of discovery that you would need eventually, but ultimately the rest of the fabric of the movie told the story well enough, so you didn't need these bits.
Mm-hmm. We had two main stories, one with Cody and one with Big Z, and there was a lot to tell about a guy who disappeared and all of a sudden mysteriously reappears. And the three scenes you're going to see were all about what might have led into fake his death.
Enjoy them as much as we enjoyed cutting them. This scene you're about to see, this deleted scene, is about Doris and Sheila, Big Z's old girlfriends.
My gosh. Played by Mindy Sterling and Jane Krakowski. Some great sessions. It was really difficult to lose these from the movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, we took them out because we started to get too heavy on the Z side of the story, and we need to keep it focused on Cody.
Really stressed out, you know, having to do all these tournaments, and you know, Reggie just had him on a schedule that was just unbeatable.
Yeah, he always wanted to be the top.
Always.
He had a real drive.
He didn't like to disappoint people
or himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think winning was something that was, you know, put upon him by Reggie. I don't think he really ever cared to win. I think he knew he was a winner. That's what made him so special.
Ezekiel is still with us.
What do you mean by that?
He has physically manifested himself as an alien in the Vega star system. I speak with him psychically.
What is Zeke saying? What has he said to you about me?
I'm not really feeling that
Zeke! It's Doris! Just come out!
So here's some live action footage from Jane and Mindy's session. It was a session we did one evening, a couple of years ago now. It was fantastic. So much fun, so funny, and it's so cut.
So sad.
Z, please come to us. I miss you, Z. Z.
What do you do?
Oh.
What do you do? Did he tickle you? I love when he tickles me. I love when he tickles me.
He tickled you too?
He did tickle me.
Really?
Oh, this is going to be
Will
fun.
you tickle me like Z used to do us?
Will I? Here! No, I won't kiss you, so just know that.
Good times.
All right.
Good times.
Yeah.
You know, I feel totally connected to you now.
I sort of feel that way to you too, Sheila.
I feel like you're one of my soul sisters.
Well, I think you're a good lady. Yeah. Oh, no, don't hug, please. No, let's just keep it this way.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well, I wouldn't call myself an extra, ever. I mean, I had an important role. I mean, I was, you know, we were the girls of, his sidekicks. We went everywhere with them, you know. We'd say, ooh, ah, wow, you're cool. Hey, Daddy-o, swing with me. Those are important words.
Yeah, very important. And then we sang a little bit. We sang in one of the musical numbers.
You want to do it?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, wop, wop. Ooh, wop, wop. Ooh, wop, wop. That's all. I know.
I felt the magic was back.
We did it. Yeah, she got the harmony going.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good to do anything that your heart isn't into, of course. You know that.
Yes.
Because you're so much more in touch with your heart than I am.
Yes. Well, when all your chakras are aligned, then all can be.
Yeah.
All can happen.
My chakras are never aligned. I'm going to have to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can throw some runes and see if...
Throw me a rune.
This scene we had to delete from the film. It's a Reggie Belafonte production, old film that
Reggie, what we can say? Well, this scene's really all about how much of an egomaniac Reggie really is, and kind of tough to lose it.
Well, and the problem with the scene is that it was all about Reggie, and we lost the Big Z and Cody story, so it's still a great scene, and enjoy it.
Yes, Pingú is no doubt the adventure island. But we would be remiss not to mention its most exciting and charming resident. Did you know he has discovered the most spectacular spectacle of all time? What's it called? Wave riding. Did Mr. Belafonte invent wave riding? Check out Zeke Topanga. Crazy, man, crazy. Zeke is Reggie's latest discovery. Looks like Reggie's about to create a brand new spectator sport. Yes, it's a bright and beautiful tomorrow on Pingú Island, and Reggie Belafonte is leading the way.
We thought we'd do a segment that had a kind of a Hawaiian holiday feeling about Zeke's career. The fact that he wasn't surfing anymore. They had him doing photo shoots, interviews about what he was doing, kind of like this, really, and songs. He was singing in his own surf video, and how much he hated doing that because he really wanted to be out in the water. So I think we came up with a song, didn't we, together on that?
No, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you just came in with this song that sounded like it was straight out of a beach musical out of the 60s.
Yeah, we specialize
Which were
in cheesy
about everything but
songs,
surfing.
really. Yeah.
We congratulated you on how cheesy it was.
Yeah, it was an
Well
achievement
done.
in cheese.
We didn't even ask for more cheese. It was like
Yeah.
cheese explosion.
Yeah, I've been off nachos ever since. Do you realize that?
Isn't he dreamy?
I'll say.
When I was just a little action, I couldn't even surf. Then Reggie came around, he found me, he showed me the world was.
Reggie, I can't do this, man. No, cut.
No,
cut.
nada, don't cut. You just get back on the board,
I'm
Z.
sick of this. I should be out there surfing with my buds.
Oh, really? I didn't have any buds left.
Are you kidding? I got so many friends. Hey.
You think they care about you if you weren't the chump? Huh? Huh? Z, come on, get it back on board. Come on. Do it for Reg. I'm your bud. Do it for your little bud. Do it for your little bud, Reg.
Action.
Z is for surfing. Take 87.
Pingú is the place for you. Pingú is the place for you. Pingú is the place for you.
Congratulations, you found the Easter egg. Now what we're gonna do now is tell you about a little thing we hid in the movie.
It's a little Meeper character from ChubbChubbs, and he's in the foliage, right?
Yeah.
He's in the foliage, the scene where Cody is on the log and Geek comes up to console him, and Meeper's off to the side in the foliage. Congrats.
Well done.
Hey, congratulations. You found the second Easter egg. Well done.
There's a first?
There was a first. They found the second one.
I didn't find the first one.
Well, that's you. They would find it.
Okay. But what? UFOs?
No, they're UFOs, guys. UFOs.
What were they doing in the picture, man?
Somebody found out I like flying saucers, so the technical crew started hiding them all over the movie, flying, in the background. And I think we're going to show you a couple. We're going to point out where they're hidden, and then you're on your own for finding the rest.
I haven't found them.
Have you found them all?
No, I haven't found them.
How about you?
I didn't find the first Easter egg, so I mean, don't look at me.
Slater, Machado, how's it going, bros?
Going good, thanks.
What's up, buddy? Okay, later, dudes. Radical.
Hi, I'm Rob Machado.
I'm Kelly Slater.
And I'm Soundmaster Kayla. We're gonna teach you how to surf like a pro.
Just come out here and show me some moves.
The first thing you have to do on your premier surf journey is make sure, of course, that you got a surfboard, because you're gonna need to ride that in the ocean.
Now, do you want to have your board with a lot of rocker or just a little?
I don't know. I guess I'd like.
What you want is something in between. Trust me, I'm the expert here, okay?
So you want a big, stable board, something that floats really well, paddles very easily, carries a lot of momentum as you paddle with your arms, and makes it easy for you to get up and build your confidence. Second off, you need to know basically what to expect in the water. So, you know, the basic idea of how to paddle, how to judge when a wave's coming towards you, how to stand up once you paddle for that wave. And there's a whole lot of things we'll learn in between there, too.
The most important safety rules in surfing is your environment. You know your environment and watch everyone around you. Surfing is the kind of sport where you have to look out for yourself, but you also have to have an eye out for everybody else in the water. Paddle out, you gotta lie on your stomach, you gotta get centered on the board. That sometimes can be a little tricky, but once you find your balance there where you're not tipping over too much in the front or in the back, it's one arm after the other, kind of like swimming, and you're just basically taking your hand, putting it through the front of the board, and pulling the water underneath the board. You do that with each hand, and next thing you know, you get a little momentum, and you're going. It's not that easy at first, though, but you'll get the hang of it.
Arms are probably gonna get tired, but that's just part of the deal. You get used to it.
You assess what kind of wave you're surfing. So you might be surfing, let's say, a beach break, which is a sand bottom wave, and it's breaking close to the beach. So you just judge where the waves are breaking, and you try to paddle out at the spot where there's the least amount of waves breaking, so that you don't have to deal with the waves pushing you in.
And then it's just nice, even strokes. One arm at a time, alternating, until you're out there.
Oh, the natural. I have the natural.
And then to ride a wave, you basically want to watch the wave coming in. You want to judge when it's going to get to you. And by the time it gets to you, you want to be paddling at full speed so that you're going almost with the speed of the wave.
Long, smooth strokes. Dig deep, dig, come on.
I'm digging! And you gotta really put some effort into your strokes. Really pull in some water, get into that wave, and then you gotta get up.
Hey, check it out.
Getting up on the surfboard is not real easy, but you can't put too much thought into it. Once you found your wave and you're paddling for it, you can't think too much. As soon as you find that point where the wave is pushing you and you've got some momentum, you gotta pop up to your feet. No crawling around or fuddling around to get on it, because once you do that, you're gonna be like this and you're going off one side or the other, or probably over the front.
It's almost like you're doing a push-up. You're pushing your chest up off your board, and then you want to bring the foot that's going to be in front is going to come right underneath your chest. That's going to be your front foot, and then you just pop right up. Simple. It's easy.
So as soon as you catch that wave, no matter how scared or all the things that are going through your mind, you gotta pop up, boom, right up on your feet and go.
That's when it gets fun, you know. From when you catch the wave, the initial rush of actually paddling into the wave and standing up is the best part. I mean, that's what we live for, and then the ride after that is just kind of the reward.
Once you've caught the wave, the really interesting thing is most of your work is done because you've harnessed the wave's energy. So now what you gotta do is just let the wave do the work. Feel the balance, feel the subtle changes in the energy that's moving underneath your feet. It's a lot easier said than done, but if you just go with the flow, next thing you know, you'll be standing on the sand going, hey man, that was me.
Everyone, including myself, started off surfing straight towards the beach. And that's kind of what you do. It's a natural way of just learning how to stand up, learning how to catch waves. I'm gonna ride it all the way into the beach.
Once you've learned how to sort of ride the whitewater into the beach, now you're gonna get out on the place that we call the face. The face of the wave, that's where all the energy is. But once you get out on the face, there's all sorts of fun things you can do.
The first maneuver anyone learns is called a bottom turn. When you take off on the wave, you get to the bottom of the wave and you turn, and that's why it's called a bottom turn. In order to turn the board, once you get up on a wave, you basically need to step back so your back fin is near where the fin is on the board. And when you get there, you can lean one way or the other. You don't want to lean too much of your upper body one way or the other, but you just kind of lean your feet into it, and as you feel the board push against the water and start to turn, you just kind of go with it. You don't want to force anything.
Every session that you have surfing, you're gonna wipe out. If you don't wipe out, you're not having a good time. I know that sounds a little weird, because basically wiping out is like almost drowning all the time. Lots of fun.
Wiping out is definitely part of the experience, and it's gonna happen. It happens to everyone, it happens to the best. And it's all about just staying calm, being relaxed.
You want to be somewhere where your mind is calm, your heartbeat's not racing, you're not burning all that oxygen in your blood and your muscles. So you just basically get underwater and just start to maybe count. Just count to 10. By the time you hit 10, you'll be at the surface.
Once you pop up, look around, find your board, grab it. Do not head to shore. Instinct will tell you to head to shore, but you turn around and you make your way back out there and you do it again.
I'm gonna paddle back out. Well, there you go. That's surfing 101. Pretty simple. Paddle out, find a wave you want to ride, turn around, catch it, enjoy the ride.
You did it! You're ready! Let's surf! Come on!
Z, don't play with me, Z. We're surfing! Yes! Yes! Okay.
What makes a great surfer? A great surfer to me is the person who's having the most fun. That's a great surfer.
I think for any surfer, it's nice to see people just get the enjoyment of what surfing is. To get on a wave and be connected to the surfing, to the feeling, to riding a wave.
And that's the main reason, really, to go out there and be in the ocean and just love it.
You know, enjoy it for what it is. Don't have expectations too high or too low. Just go out and experience what it is. You know, some days you have a good day, some days you have a bad day. But if you look at it the right way, it's all a learning experience, and it's a great way to share time with your family or your friends or just with yourself.
Thanks for hanging out. You guys are really good.
Now go take what we taught you, put it into effect, and have a good time.
And surf like a pro.
What was that like to recognize that this thing that you've been doing your whole childhood, that consumed your existence, was now your job?
Dream come true for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, spent all my years as a kid wanting to be a pro surfer, travel around the world, surf, you know, all the waves I saw in magazines, and go to the places I always dreamed of going, and you know, wake up one day and realize you're getting paid for that. It's pretty cool.
There's not a day that you wake up and you're not thankful that you get to go surfing as a job, you know.
Almost everyone who starts to surf will ask you about, you know, what about the sharks? And I mean, I've been surfing for my whole life. I'm 35 years old. I've never been bitten by a shark. You know, you're probably not going to get bit by a shark.
Congratulations, by the way.
Have you seen many? I've only seen a few. My whole
existence. I'm sure more have seen you.
Yeah,
I saw about a dozen sharks just 4 days ago.
Well, guys, thanks for letting us dig into your professional shred brains.
All right.
We appreciate it. It's not every day you get to peer into the minds of champion surfers like yourselves. I thank you. The audience thanks you.
We thank you, Sal.
Thanks, Sal.
A lot of thankfulness.
There is.